This is the NHL at its best. Check it out.
Welcome back to Toronto, where tonight the Maple Leafs play host to the Sharks in Game 2 of this best-of-7 series. There is no question that the main man this season for San Jose, as they've made their surprising run into the playoffs, has been their goaltender, the 27-year-old Latvian Arturs Irbe. He was the unanimous selection as team MVP by the Bay Area media. And there's no question he has joined the elite goaltenders of the National Hockey League, Brian. But occasionally he causes concern for his coach and the Sharks fans when he gets a little frisky and wanders away from the net.
Absolutely. Irbe has had an outstanding season, all 74 games and 4,412 minutes. But when he gets out of his net, that's when there are problems. Sometimes it's just plain bad luck. Look at this from Game 7 against Detroit. Off the boards, off the foot, whoops, right out in front, and Detroit's going to end up with a goal. Things just don't seem to happen to Arturs when he gets out of his net. Here's Game 1 against Toronto. He's going to get out of his net. He changes his mind, and boy, when he changes his mind, disaster strikes. He's out. He goes the other way. Mark Osborne right there. Thank you very much. And Osborne gets an absolute free one. What did Arturs Irbe have to say about this whole thing? I was just trying to flicker the puck forward, but the puck wasn't listening to me. He thanked me for the pass.
He should have, and he should have been credited with an assist on the goal by Osborne, but fortunately for the Sharks, they survived that miscue and took Game 1 of the series. Game 2 comes your way tonight on the Deuce. We'll have the opening face-off from Toronto in just a moment.
Brought to you by Corona and Corona Light. Change your latitude with Corona and Corona Light. By Burger King. Value every day. Have it your way. By Armor All Tire Foam. It cleans, it shines, it keeps your tires looking like new. And by Tiger Shark Personal Watercraft. Everything else is just bait. Welcome back to Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto, Ontario, as ESPN2 presents the Stanley Cup playoffs. No surprise that Arturs Irbe is in net for San Jose. He's backstopped the Sharks in all 8 games in the playoffs to this point with a record of 5-3. And at the other end of the ice, the 22-year-old from Montreal, Felix Potvin. Likewise, he's been in net in every game of the playoffs to date for the Maple Leafs. Toronto in the home white. San Jose in the visiting teal. Don Koharski is the referee, and Game 2 is underway. Back in his own zone, Sean Cronin for the Sharks. Around to Bob Harry, the captain of the Sharks, moved it out past Bob Rouse, who threw it back in. And the Leafs had to vacate the zone, touch up, and avoid the delayed offside call. Now Jamie Baker, who scored the most memorable goal in Sharks history, the game winner in Game 7 of the Detroit series. Icing waved off. Ron Finn and Ray Scapinello are the linesmen tonight. They played 35 seconds, no score. And Cronin waits behind the net. He's number 44 on defense with Jason Moore, number 4, to open the game for San Jose. Bill Van Lefebvre back to play it. And he has skating room. And the Sharks move back to center ice. They drove it in over the net. Mike Eastwood first on it for Toronto. Back to the line. Shot from a point blocked by a sprawling Garpenlov. Now McCollum threw it to the goal mouth. And a penalty coming up here. Larionov is going off for tripping as he offended Mark Osborne. And Toronto is on the power play 1 minute and 10 seconds into the game.
Well, the San Jose Sharks will have to kill off a penalty early on, and they don't like to do that any time. Here's another look at it. Larionov's going to reach with the stick a little bit. Whoops, pulls the feet out from underneath Osborne. And they'll have to spend the next 2 minutes killing off the penalty. San Jose early on in Game 1 had to withstand a charge by the Toronto Maple Leafs. They came out flying and hitting, especially Baumgartner. He laid on the body, and Toronto was successful and got off to a 1-0 start. But they were able to weather that storm, and that's what they'll be looking to do here. A key guy for the Toronto Maple Leafs in any situation right there, Doug Gilmour, and he's on that limping around with that bad ankle. And however successful he can be tonight probably will indicate how successful the Leafs will be.
Toronto has had the best power play in the playoffs, but in Game 1 they were 0 for 5 against the Sharks. Dave Ellett, the point man. Now Gilmour. Down low, the pass did not connect. Andreychuk is up front for Toronto with Mironov and Gilmour. Shot from the point, blocked in front by Tom Peterson. Nikolai Borshevsky, number 16, moves it back to the net. Jamie Baker around the boards, kept in by Marino. Now Ellis through a crowd, knocked down by Irbe. Minute 25 left on the penalty. Larionov. Borshevsky centers from Marino. Now Ellis, wrist shot blocked by Duchesne. Duchesne is an excellent penalty killer, as is Baker. Duchesne blocked another try from Ellis and deflected it into the crowd.
Well, Toronto wants to keep it simple on this power play. They're getting it back to the point, moving it around a little bit to see if they can get that box moving for the San Jose Sharks. They're simply trying to throw it to the front of the net. Big Dave Andreychuk will be in front. He takes up a tremendous amount of room. And Gilmore off to the side is the guy they want to get it to.
Kevin Constantine, certainly a candidate for Coach of the Year in the NHL. Hired last summer to replace George Kingston. Certainly Constantine benefited from player acquisitions made by the Sharks front office in the offseason. He has initiated a disciplined style. The Sharks were the 5th most penalized team in the league last season when they won only 11 games. This year they were the least penalized team in the league. Wendell Clark wound up for the slapper, was deflected over the net. A minute 3 left on the power play. Gilmore lost the puck, but Clark picked it up. Clark lets it fly. Irbe didn't appear to see it, but it hit him nonetheless. 50 seconds left of the power play. No score in the game. We've played nearly 2.5 minutes. Jamie McCown back to the point to Todd Gill. Now Gilmore, top of the circle. McCown came sneaking in, but couldn't one-time it on net. Now he's forced in the corner by Moore. 35 seconds left on the man advantage. And Jason Moore didn't get it out. Gill kept it in, then got checked by Erie. Nice play by Gilmore off to Clark. Clark ran out of room at the top of the circle. Andreychuk whipped it through the crease past Gilmore. Gill kept it in. 18 seconds left on the power play as the Sharks move it out to the red line.
Excellent sustained pressure by Toronto. San Jose really having trouble getting out of their zone.
3 minutes played, no score. Under 10 seconds left in the Toronto man advantage. Mark Osborne worked it down low for Gilmore. Erie got it to the line, not out. Now it's knocked out by Rob Goodrow. And the Sharks are back at full strength. 16:41 left first period, no score.
That's not a great sign for San Jose. They had 2 clear-cut chances to get the puck out of the zone. It doesn't matter if it's in a penalty killing situation or even strength. When you get those chances, the puck must go out over the blue line.
The Sharks weave their way to center ice. Jeff Norton out of the University of Michigan banked it in behind Potvin. He left it for Rouse. His clear try deflected by Garpenlock, kept in by Sergei Makarov. Now Lefebvre worked it to Bill Bird. He got it to the line, but not into the zone. Larionov, nice long pass to Garpenlock, and he is stopped just inside the line by Lefebvre. After the first game, the Maple Leafs were booed off the ice. They lost 3-2. A couple of the players implored the crowd through the newspapers here in Toronto to be helpful and noisy. This is a usually very quiet crowd here at Maple Leaf Gardens, and we really don't sense much passion here in the opening moments of this game.
Well, this is actually pretty noisy for them. In some cases, boy, you can hear a pin drop in here, but I think the level is up a little bit from last game.
Certainly a far cry from most rinks, particularly the San Jose Arena, where the Sharks benefit greatly from the tremendous noise made by their teal-clad fans. Pearson shot it wide. It was Rob Pearson who was most vocal in asking the crowd for some help. A formula that worked for Dave Winfield and the Blue Jays a couple of years ago, as they asked Toronto baseball fans to make more noise. The fans responded. The Blue Jays went on to their first World Championship. We've played 5 minutes, no score. Pearson took a hit up high. That will be icing if the Sharks get there first, but they don't. Baumgartner was first on it. And Irbe content to hang on. We'll have more Stanley Cup playoff action in a moment.
Meet the Parker twins, Bob and Fred.
Hi.
Identical in every way, except when it comes to taking care of their cars. Bob likes the shine of original Armor All Protectant, but not Fred.
I gotta be me.
Fred's discovered the rich, deep finish of new low-gloss Armor All. It protects like original Armor All.
But without the glossy shine.
Original or new low gloss.
Now it's your choice.
Only from Armor All.
Hey, can I try that?
Well, you can talk about line play in football, but it's in front of the net where a lot of stuff goes on. Look at Dave Anderchuk get worked over in front of that net. Jay Moore will take a couple of whacks at him. Then Jamie Baker's going to come in. There's Cronin as well. Look at Baker. He'll lay the stick on. Then Doug Gilmore. How slick is this guy? Look at that nifty little pass to keep it inside the blue line. That guy's got great, great skills. Nothing wrong with his hands. It's his feet we have to keep an eye on, that bad ankle.
Gilmore did not practice yesterday with the rest of the Maple Leafs. Pat Falloon shoots it in for San Jose. 5.5 minutes gone by first period. No score here in Toronto. Dave Andreychuk looking to break in. He's tied up by Moore and ridden to the board. Sean Cronin with Borashevsky in before check. Borashevsky had a tough year physically. Started with a ruptured spleen that had to be removed in November. Gilmore went cutting for the net. Handled the pass from Andreychuk, but it bounced off into the corner. Now Borashevsky, and the rebound knocked over the net by Andreychuk. Herbe made the first stop on Borashevsky. Leafs trying to crowd the net, but the pass from Gilmore was an errant one, picked up by Ray Whitney. He couldn't get around Dmitry Mironov, and back the other way comes Bob Rouse. Rouse shoots it in from center. 13:50 remaining in the first period, no score. San Jose has not lost a game to Toronto in this 93-94 season. In the regular season, the Sharks had 2 wins and 2 ties in 4 games against the Leafs. 1-0-1. Both at home and on the road against Toronto. And of course, San Jose won the first game of this playoff series here in Toronto on Monday night. Sandis Ozolinsh went rink wide for Larionov. The 33-year-old Russian forced back by McCowan. And that's characteristic of San Jose. If they don't have a play, they're content to backtrack until they can make a play. Larionov. Double teamed in the corner, turned it over, but then Lefebvre couldn't keep it in.
San Jose spending a tremendous amount of time on their side of the red line and inside their own blue line. From the few rushes that they've had up ice, Toronto very physical at their own blue line. Toronto coach Pat Burns was very tough on his defenseman after game 1. He wanted a much better effort, and so far he's getting it.
Garpenlaw with some room, put it on net, and Potvin made the save. Best chance for San Jose to this point. And we're 7 minutes in. And a penalty coming here. And it's against Toronto, a slashing call. And Lefebvre is going off for the Leafs. Don Koharski with the call, and San Jose will have the power play for the first time tonight.
Well, the papers here in Toronto have been really strange after game 1. Toronto plays a fairly boring defensive style, but you should hear or see some of the quotes rather from the papers here. The San Jose Sharks are like Sominex in your water bottle. Their fight song just had to be sung by Perry Como. That's what they're talking about the Sharks here in Toronto. It makes me laugh. Welcome to the first annual Dirt Track Stanley Cup Championships hockey that makes the slow motion replay machine seem redundant. Unbelievable. This is an original 6 team that used to play a lot of defensive style games, and they're chopping up San Jose for playing the same way.
Yeah, Toronto isn't exactly a fly up and down the ice team either.
You're right. I know. It's funny, but boy, they really laid into San Jose after game 1.
And as those are very humorous quotes. And as Kevin Constantine said, I thought the object was to win games, regardless of the style. That's what San Jose has done.
Good point by you, Kevin.
Of course, at the San Jose Arena, they think this style is terrific.
Oh, yeah, winning style. That's all they care about, and boy, are they fired up in San Jose.
Sharks 0 for 3 in game 1 on the power play. This is their first try tonight in a scoreless game, nearly 8 minutes in. Ulf Dahlen had a dive to keep it alive. The centering pass intercepted by Allen. He's tripped, and that'll even it up as Ray Whitney's going off. Potvin leaves the net for the extra attacker. Delayed call against the Sharks. Whistled down now as Goodrow touched the puck. But Whitney is guilty of tripping, and the teams will play 4 aside for 1:35. Then Toronto will have a brief power play chance.
Well, no player is ever happy when he has to go to the penalty box, but this is a pretty easy call for Don Koharski. There's Whitney reaching. Every time you reach with the stick, that's a pretty easy one. The guy goes down. Ellett goes down in the play. Whitney was reaching. He's in the offensive zone. So that'll be a 4-on-4 situation. And we'll see who comes up, whether it's defensive specialists or offensive players for each team.
We noted the regular season series, 2-0-2, the record for San Jose. Against Toronto, they outscored the Leafs by a combined total of 11-8. Todd Ellett was the leading point getter. And in game one, San Jose won by a goal despite being outshot and despite being dominated on face-offs by 13. The advantage for Toronto in the draws. Larionov and Garpenlov each had 2 points. And they combined for a beautiful game-winning goal.
Well, Peter Zezel is the best face-off man in Toronto, but all their guys are pretty good. Larionov is usually pretty good, but he had a lousy first game when it came to face-offs. His best guy was Todd Ellett, and he was just at 500.
It's Zezel and Larionov on the draw. This one controlled by the Sharks. Teams playing 4 aside. As both teams are penalized. Berg out there with Zezel, Gill, and Ellett for Toronto. And here's another penalty against San Jose. Jeff Norton beeping to Don Koharski about the call. It's a roughing call, and it is against Norton. So Toronto is back on the power play, this time 4-on-3.
Well, shades of game one in some ways, although this is going to be a 4-on-3 situation. Norton, you can see the shot he takes. He's not going to like it much. A little bit of a grab there by Gill, and whoops, a little left hook. And Koharski saying, got you on that one. Here's Zezel on the face-off. He is the best one of the Toronto Maple Leafs in that department. He loses one hand on the stick, but he's a soccer player, and you can tell. Look at him get in there and make a scrum out of it. Look at those quick feet. It takes him a couple of times, but body position is what it's all about. He's keeping it even, uses the feet. That's an outstanding job by Peter Zezel when you saw he absolutely lost one hand off the stick in that situation.
Zezel, as you noted, played soccer, played professionally, in fact, for the Toronto Blizzard of the North American Soccer League. Missed 41 games this year with a back problem. So Toronto back on the power play. This time it's 4-on-3. Gilmore and Andrechuk now the forwards on the ice with Mironov and Ellett the point men. This is Ellett. Passed it up. Mironov, one-timer, and he scored. Don Koharski hesitated, and the Sharks are questioning him about the call. And now the officials are conferring. I think Koharski's indicating the puck went in and out very quickly. And he nodded his head as though the linesmen were in agreement. So Mironov has scored a power play goal, and Toronto has a 1-0 lead.
Well, in a 4-on-3 situation, the defensemen are always the key. They're going to get more room up top. Mironov will slip off to the left side of your screen. Ellett will play a little catch with Gilmore and then feed Mironov, and Mironov just going to hammer it. Here it goes. That's in underneath the crossbar, and hit the crossbar at the back of the net at the top. The red light did not come on right away, and it looks like they're going to take a look at it before they confirm it. But Koharski, the referee, did signal initially that he went in. Yes, absolutely. They will confirm it right there. A great shot by Mironov. The quick riser on those one-timers. Pretty tough shot for Irbe to stop, and Toronto with some tremendous momentum. Here's another shot from up top. You'll see it go underneath. I'm sure you'll see the twine move. That's an easy shot from up top. No problem for the replay judges on that one at all.
And the goal does stand, second of the playoffs and first of this series for Dmitry Mironov. The 28-year-old Russian in his second full season with the Leafs. At 8:06 on a 4-on-3 power play.
Well, in game one, Toronto had a 5-on-3 situation for just over a minute and a half and didn't even get any shots on net. And all the analysts after the game said that was the beginning of the end for Toronto, so things are different here in game two.
Mironov slides into the corner. The teams play 4-on-4 now. Dave has 57 seconds remaining to be served. Whitney a minute 20. That shot by Zezel went off the side of the net. Zezel takes the turnover, and Irbe made the stop. Terrible play, uncharacteristic of Larionov. He threw it out in front of his own net at the top of the slot, right onto the stick of Peter Zezel, and Irbe was tested.
Peter Zezel reads the play extremely well right here. Larionov gets to the puck way ahead of Peter Zezel, but Zezel will read the look over the shoulder by Larionov. Watch Larionov will look for his man. Zezel goes, oh, that's what he wants. He steps right in the middle there. Perfect timing, and he gets an excellent scoring opportunity because of it.
1-0 Toronto. They'll be on the power play again in 46 seconds or 25 seconds. Only one good scoring chance for San Jose. Andrechuk ripped one over the net. Long rebound out to Makarov. It's a 2-on-2. Makarov lost the puck as he was eyeing the pass. McCown rode him to the corner. Now Norton up from the point. The puck poked away by Mironov, kept in by Larionov. Now Makarov behind the net. Centers one. And Ozolinsh tried to one-time it, but missed it.
San Jose has to get out of their zone. They have to get some offense going, and certainly it's Larionov's line that they look to create something offensively. The rest of the line pretty much try to play status quo against Toronto, but so far Larionov's line hasn't had much chance.
Ozolinsh, the offensive defenseman, had his shot blocked, but then got it back to Larionov. And Lefebvre is out of the penalty box, and Toronto is now on a power play for another 19 seconds. That's the time remaining to be served by Ray Whitney. Todd Gill with a burst of speed. Sent it to the corner for Gilmore. Norton got there first and got a stick on it. Duchesne couldn't move it out. Carter poked it into the corner. Centering pass intended for Clark off his stick and skated off. And the Sharks should think offense here as Whitney comes out of the box. And they're at full strength. Tom Peterson, a defenseman in deep, rolled it to the side of the net and taken back by the Leafs. Doug Gilmore, long pass. Clark is onside. Wendell Clark a drive, turned aside by Urbeck. Halfway through the first period, 1-0 Maple Leafs. The power play goal by Dmitry Mironov. And the Sharks have been credited with only 2 shots on goal to this point. Elliott and Gilmore given the assists on the goal on the 4-on-3 power play. Dahlin walked out from behind the net. He was deflected wide. Airy tangled up in the crease. No whistle. Airy's lost his helmet, and he's still tangled up with Dave Ellett. Now Vlasty Krupa. His pass went off the stick of Dahlin, picked up by Airy. Airy tried to center it. It was deflected by Rouse. In the puck bin. 1-0 Toronto. Back after this.
Introducing the full line of Tiger Shark personal watercraft. The high-performance Barracuda. The 1- or 2-person Daytona. The affordable Montego or Montego Deluxe. And for family fun, it's the Monte Carlo. They're sleek, fast, powerful. They're Tiger Shark watercraft. Accept no imitations.
Why go to the beach? Just to get beached.
Plunge in, tenacity. Plunge in, plunge totally into the pure, clean taste. Why just get a little bit wet? Plunge in, tenacity. Plunge in, totally. Plunge in.
Here's a great scoring chance for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Doug Gilmore is the guy who makes it happen. What else to do? Coming out of the zone, there he is. Take a look. He's looking right across ice to Wendell Clark, who's on the fly. And look at this pass. Clark had to stretch for it, but he's able to just scoop down the wing, and he hammers it at the net. That's the right play. Challenge the goaltender, make him make those saves early on.
Still 1-0 Toronto. Both teams at full strength with 9:25 left in the first period. Sean McDonough and Brian Engblom at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Sold out as usual for the Leafs and the Sharks. Game 2 of the Western Conference semifinals. Osborne knocked down Norton, but the Sharks retained possession of the puck. Ozolinsh rink wide from Makarov. Now Garpenlov, who's actually a Swede, has it back in the corner and then was checked off the play by Zezel. Peter Zezel, the veteran in his 10th NHL season, his 3rd year with the Leafs. And another shot on net for Toronto. This one from the count, long range, turned aside by Urban. Down to 8:45 left in the opening period. Toronto trying to draw even in this series. Has a 1-0 lead. The Sharks have looked a little bit flat here in the opening moments. Larionov shoots it in, and San Jose changes lines.
San Jose just trying to survive they're past the halfway point of this first period, but Toronto continues to apply the body, continues to apply pressure in the San Jose zone, but San Jose slowly starting to come out of it and starting to mellow out the Leafs somewhat.
Old man Lefebvre behind the net. He left the puck from Mike Krushelnyski, who got it out of the zone. Jason Moore threw it back in. Now Lefebvre, who was the only Leaf to play in all 84 regular season games. And a lot of problems with injuries. Balloon circles the net and centered it. But Baumgartner was there. He's playing with a very sore shoulder. Some question as to whether or not Ken Baumgartner would play. But he is with a bruised shoulder. McCowan up the boards and out. Moore flipped it back in, skated out by Krushelnyski. This will be icing, and Irbe has to come out and play it. Ellick in the corner, checked by Baumgartner. Rob Pearson, checked by Krupa. Krushelnyski was bumped by Moore, and the puck wound up with Ellick. He was claimed on waivers at the start of the year after Edmonton put him on waivers. And the Sharks were 0-8-1 for their first 9 games of the season when they acquired Ellick. What a turnaround their season had once he came from the Oilers. Drive from the line by Peterson. Over everything and off the glass and all the way out of the zone. Played at center ice by Krupa, and he dumps it back in. 7 minutes remaining in the first period. 1-0 Toronto. A power play goal for Dmitry Mironov from Elliott Gilmore. This is Doug Gilmore. And to Nikolai Borshevsky. The Russian trying to make a move, but he couldn't get away from Tom Peterson. His 30 defenseman is only 5'9", 180 pounds. Norton to Garpenlaw, former Red Wing, eliminated his former team in round 1. Dolan dumped it into the left wing corner. Zezel first there. Down to Bill Berg. The former Islander carries out to center ice. Zezel, way is offside. Osborne way in ahead. Still 1-0 Leafs. More Stanley Cup playoff action on the Deuce after this.
Did someone say jam session?
It's awesome dunks. Oh. It's thunderous stops.
Oh, yeah.
It's NBA action and excitement that only a jam session can provide. Get ready for an incredible offer from Sports Illustrated. You'll see unbelievable NBA action set to the beat of today's hottest music in the NBA Jam Session video. And you'll also get an officially licensed NBA cap featuring the team of your choice. And best of all, both gifts are absolutely free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. Whoa! Call right now for 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, all for just $1.39 an issue. You save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Gone! Don't miss out. Call now for your free NBA Jam Session video and your free team cap. There's nothing in the world like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Here's tonight's Budweiser Stanley Cup summary. In the other series that's underway tonight, Vancouver leads Dallas 1-0. Game 2 gets underway in a matter of moments. How about the New York Rangers? Longest playoff winning streak in their history. With their win over Washington last night, they've won 6 in a row to open the 94 playoffs, and they have firmly established themselves as the team to beat for the Stanley Cup. That was deflected out, and therefore no penalty against Irbe for shooting it directly into the crowd.
Well, there's Mark Osborne back out on the ice after his last shift. He went on the bench, and you could see he was wincing in pain. It was either his elbow or his shoulder problem. Injuries seem to come in threes, as they say. Baumgartner, we mentioned earlier, is hurting with a shoulder problem, and looked as if Osborne, who had taken a run at one of the San Jose players and got a big portion of the glass as well, I think it was his shoulder, so perhaps we'll be looking for one more guy before this stops.
Osborne, the recipient of that gift goal in Game 1 when Irbe got caught out of the net, wound up passing the puck right to Osborne. Zezel and Larionov on the draw.
There's one school of thought here that thinks that perhaps another line, more offensive, should be playing against Larionov's line. They're more offensive-minded. They will give the Leafs more offensive chances, and a lot of people feel that Zezel's line with Osborne and Berg are not equipped to take advantage of those offensive chances.
Right out in front of the net, Osborne put it on net, and Irbe made the stop. The Sharks were scrambling in their own zone as one of their defensemen, Jeff Norton, lost his stick right off the draw.
Well, we talked about face-offs early on, and Toronto just killed San Jose in face-offs in Game 1. Again, who else? Peter Zezel. This one's going to go back to the point, and it'll end up in a scoring chance. Pretty clean victory there. He got some help from his friends there. Berg dumped it back And just a quick shot towards the net. It doesn't take anything fancy. Look at that. It goes off somebody in front. This time it was Norton. Norton had no stick, too. A dangerous situation anytime a defenseman doesn't have a stick. There it is from another angle. McCowan made a smart play. When that one went back to him, he just quickly wristed it towards the net and just see what happens.
Toronto dominated the faceoffs in game one. They have a slight edge tonight. They win another. Eastwood back to Rouse. Irbe looked to his left as the rebound glanced off him to the right. Sean Cronin around the boards for Erie. Jeff Odgers couldn't handle it at center ice. So Clark needed a new stick. A handoff. New piece of lumber from one of his teammates as he passed in front of the Toronto bench. 1-0 Maple Leafs, down to 5:40 left in the first period. Wendell Clark, the captain of the Leafs, shoots it high and wide, and Eastwood was offside. More from Toronto after this.
Yeah, didn't you see Chris dunk on Charles Barkley? Nah, you didn't see that. I went something like this. Put the cape on though, because I was like Superman. Oh yeah, you were. Let me put that on. You can be Barkley, see. Okay, where? Catch it like this, around the back. I'm Barkley coming. So he's Barkley trying to block it. Oh, wait, he's too high. He's too high. And then what did Barkley say? He said, I don't believe in role models, but you mine. Yeah. Oh.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning, and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
There's Jamie Baker, who scored. He was the hero in the first series against Detroit. He couldn't sleep after Game 7 after scoring that winning goal. He said he rolled around in bed all night, and he just kept replaying in his mind because he knew by morning it's yesterday's news, and he's right about that.
His teammate Bob Erie actually predicted before Game 7 that Baker would score the winning goal. He said he should be the guy to score the game winner because he worked so hard, and that was a unanimous opinion on the part of Jamie Shark teammates. Of course, Erie said it would be an overtime, so he missed slightly, but he did have the right player. Certainly Baker wasn't an obvious choice. Had only 12 goals during the regular season. The only goal of this game by Toronto's Dmitry Mironov on the power play. And with 5:13 left in the first period, the Maple Leafs lead 1-0. Wendell Clark accepted the pass right at the red line to avoid the two-line pass. Krupa stopped his rush. Andrechuk put it on net. And Irbe able to pick it out of the air. Well, if you're a hockey fan, we assume if you're watching tonight that you are, you have your choice of playoff action tomorrow night. Here on the Deuce, it's New Jersey and Boston as that series shifts to the Boston Garden with Boston leading 2 games to none. That's at 7:30 Eastern time. 2 of the best defensemen in the league head-to-head in that one. Then 2 of the best playmakers in hockey, Mark Messier and Joey Juneau, go head-to-head on ESPN, 7:30 tomorrow night. Game 3 of the series between the Rangers and the Capitals. New York leads 2 games to none as the scene shifts to the Capitals' home rink.
There's Sergei Makarov, one of the masters of sport, which is the equivalent to the North American Hockey Hall of Fame. This guy has had an unbelievable career in the Soviet Union. He's been over here the last 5 years or so playing in the NHL. I had the great pleasure and displeasure of playing against him when he was at the height of his career. This guy could scoot. I mean, he's 35 years old now. He has slowed down a little bit, but he led the Sharks in goal scoring with 30 this year, and he has been a tremendous competitor. Kevin Constantine, to Constantine's credit, has given Makarov a little more room than Makarov was getting in Calgary. He was very upset in Calgary. He wasn't playing very much, but Constantine worked with him, and he got good results.
Early in the year, Constantine was giving as much coaching to Makarov and Larionov as he was the rest of the Sharks. And Kevin said one of the first things I learned early in the season was that Makarov and Larionov are better with less coaching.
Well, that's right. I think they compromise on all levels. Here's another look at that last face-off again. Toronto wins it pretty cleanly, and they just shovel it to the net. But San Jose did a good job of blocking out there. Excellent coverage. And there's Larionov. He took his man literally right to the net. And you have to do that. You have to be responsible 5-on-5 down low. Larionov is a very experienced guy. He knows that after he loses the face-off, he still must be responsible for that center iceman. He followed him around right to the net and make sure he didn't get any rebounds.
Toronto continues to win the bulk of the faceoffs. Rouse had his shot blocked by Ray Whitney. And now Pat Falloon lost the puck, but Whitney wound up with it. Whitney had a slow first 5 months of the season. His first full season at the NHL level, but really picked it up over the last 12 games of the year. He had 6 goals. Andreychuk able to chip it out in front again. Irbe almost got caught out of the net. We're down to 4.5 minutes left in the first period. 1-0 Maple Leafs. Rouse, the center ice Gilmore. Now Rouse has it back. 29-year-old defenseman. Came to Toronto from Washington in 1991. With Peter Zezel in the trade that sent Al Iafrate for the Capitals. Free puck back in the Toronto end, and it's Mironov. Rink wide to Rouse. Rouse struck a player along his own bench, and the play whistled down with 4:02 left in the first.
Well, the Leafs are up 1-0 in this game. They've come out storming. They have a 1-0 lead. They laid the body on exactly as expected. San Jose's just been trying to weather the storm. These Leafs want to keep pounding away. The downfall in Game 1 that most people felt was they got away from the body contact, but somehow San Jose has a strange way of doing that to every team. Detroit said the same thing. They were angry at themselves because they couldn't seem to muster up any anger or get anything out of San Jose. These Leafs are the angry bunch. They want to play mean, they want to play physical, and they want San Jose to play that way too. But the key is San Jose probably won't.
Shots on goal are 13-2, and the good scoring chances are 11-1 in favor of Toronto. As Irbe has been solid. If the Leafs were hoping for a boost from the crowd, they can forget about that. It's like being in a movie theater. You'd want to go to a movie where these people here tonight are painfully polite. McCowan played it back to Lefebvre, and now McCowan has it back. For most of his career with the Calgary Flames after leaving Ohio State. Makarov whipped it out in front, intended for Ozolinsh, but was intercepted. And Osborne has it from Zezel. In the left wing corner, here comes Irbe out again. Turned it over to Osborne. Free puck in the slot. Lefebvre had it blocked by Norton. Makarov, some skating room now for the Sharks. Garpenlaw back for Makarov. He cuts into the slot and was badgered by the back checking of Zezel. Penalty coming up against the Maple Leafs. Malone tried to flip it in front and could not, but as Zezel touches the puck, Toronto is penalized.
Well, Jeff Norton got flattened. He was trying to come out of his own zone. He dished the puck off, and I don't know whether it was Zezel or Berg that got a piece of him, but it looked like it was knee-on-knee action. Norton went down and stayed down for several seconds. There was a delayed penalty. Osborne is in the penalty box, and apparently he was the one that made contact, but Norton tried to jump by him. Take a look at it here. He has to look down for a second. There you go. It's exactly what happened, knee on knee. Now, it could be just a bruise, or sometimes it's a hyperextension, meaning your leg just snaps straight, and it doesn't like that tension, that immediate tension on the knee. But it looked like Norton was okay. After a few seconds, he did get up and struggle towards the bench, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. He's a very key factor in the San Jose team.
So Doug Gilmore out to help kill the penalty. It's on Osborne for tripping. And the Sharks are on the power play. Their first chance of the power play was abbreviated by a penalty that they took themselves. Whitney, Dahlin, Ellett, Peterson, and Gaudreau, 4 forwards out of the power play for the Sharks. The Leafs send it down. They have Gilmore and Andreychuk, Ellett, and Rouse killing the penalty. There's a minute 35 remaining. 2:40 left in the first period. 1-0 Maple Leafs. Rob Gaudreau held it on for Todd Ellett. He winds up for a shot over the net. And out of the rink, deflected out by Potvin. The faceoff will be inside the zone.
There's big Dave Andreychuk, and he's had a tremendous career. And since he's come here to Toronto, he's had back-to-back 50-goal seasons. But Andreychuk had 5 shorthanded goals this year. That's very unusual for him, because prior to this year, he never had a shorthanded goal in his life. He never killed penalties very much. Everybody said he was a power play specialist, and that's certainly true. 81 power play goals for Andreychuk over the last 3 seasons alone, and he can score shorthanded too.
Gaudreau pressured up at the point by Andreychuk. Now Whitney trying to work out of the corner, but he was harassed by Ellett. A minute 10 left on the power play for San Jose. 1-0 Toronto. Wraparound try by Dahlin, free in the crease and smothered by Potvin. And after the whistle, another penalty here against Toronto. Whitney went down, and I believe it was Dave Ellett who flattened him, and Don Koharski appeared to only be indicating that a penalty would be against Ellett, and if that's the case, Toronto will be 2 men short.
San Jose hasn't had too many scoring chances, and this one wasn't a great scoring chance, but it was a wrap-around attempt by Dahlin. He'll look out in front and try to make a pass. He sees there's just too many white shirts in front, so he'll just throw the puck towards the front of the net. But it was very good coverage by the Toronto Maple Leafs. You'll see there are 3 Leafs. They're going to converge right to the front of the net and simply lock up the middle. Good job by Lefebvre there. You'll see Dahlin. He gets the shot. Actually, Lefebvre makes the save. And then after that play, as it continued on, you'll see Whitney, number 14, in teal, is going to get flattened afterwards, and that's going to be the penalty right there. Ellett with a punch to the side of the head, and I think that's what Toronto wants to do. They want to disturb San Jose. How many of those can you take before you get angry, Sean? I don't know, but Toronto wants San Jose angry. Nobody's been able to do that so far.
And really very few teams have all year. We mentioned that the Sharks were the least penalized team in the league this season. After being the 5th most penalized team last year under Kevin Constantine, they don't let themselves get drawn into the retaliatory penalties. But it was the undisciplined style of play earlier in the period that cost the Sharks. They turned the power play into a 4-on-3 advantage for Toronto, and that's when the Leafs scored the only goal of this game to this point. Now it's a 5-on-3 power play, and they'll have it for a full minute. Larionov off for Ozolinsh. Larionov and Ozolinsh again. Peterson is also out there as a defenseman. He was the intended recipient of the pass. Ozolinsh has some room. First man back for Toronto with 45 seconds. Down low. Redirected toward the net by Whitney. Whitney again has the pass from Larionov, but he was in too deep. Lefebvre, McCowan, and Zezel trying to kill off the 5-on-3. Ozolinsh out in front. Whitney ball along the side of the net, but couldn't handle it. 25 seconds, and they get the first man back. Larionov couldn't get the tip from Whitney. That appears to be the plan. They just can't execute it. 18 seconds on the first penalty. Larionov fanned on it. Zezel couldn't get it out. Larionov held him off, and Peterson came to the rescue. The first man back for Toronto in 7 seconds. 1 minute left on the second penalty. 1 minute and 10 left in the period. Shot wide. Whitney the rebound. Didn't get good wood on it. And Potvin couldn't smother it. And finally he gets the whistle from Don Koharski. And now it's 5-on-4 on the power play. 52 seconds left in the minor to Ellett. Ray Whitney had about 6 chances, but just couldn't get enough wood on any of his attempts to score on Potvin.
And I think the reason he wasn't getting any wood on it, he had his stick in the air the whole time. There were 3 or 4 chances that came his way, and he was facing the wrong way, or by the time he put his stick back down on the ice, he wasn't able to take advantage of it. Zezel had a chance to clear the puck 1 time for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and there, a good tie-up by Larionov to keep it in. So good sustained pressure by San Jose on that 5-on-3. They did manufacture some scoring chances. You can see them controlling the puck here, moving it around and back and forth. But really, Whitney, the guy who had all those chances, there's the end of it. That's how it finished. Potvin was able to finally sit on it, but Whitney really missed 3 good chances. I would say one of them was definitely not his fault. It handcuffed him and went in his feet. But the other times, I feel if he had his stick down, he would have had a much better chance of redirecting the puck at the net.
You have to give Don Koharski a lot of credit. He had great position there to see that the puck was not tied up by Potvin, and he was very patient. A lot of times, as soon as the official loses sight of the puck in that scramble, he blows the whistle. Potvin never did have it tied up until the very end. Rouse trying to shoot it out. Might have hit the linesman Ron Finn. 45 seconds left in the power play. That's now 5-on-4. And we're under a minute left in the period. The defenseman Rouse looking for help. Bill Berg trying to come up to join him. Rouse content to kill time, slide it into the corner. Alf Dahlin fired just at the trading deadline from Dallas. He was the 3rd leading scorer for the Stars at the time of that trade. Went to Dallas for a couple of defensemen. Dahlin lost the handle. Gilmore, 20 seconds left on the San Jose power play. 27 left in the period. Berg lost the puck. Norton into the corner. Gilmore badgering Dahlin. Just about going to do it for the San Jose power play. There's 5 seconds remaining. And we tick down to the final 10 seconds of the period. Toronto survived the 5-on-3. And the Leafs will head to the locker room after 1 period with a 1-0 lead. The only goal of the period on a 4-on-3 power play by Toronto's Dmitry Mironov from Ellett and Gilmore. After 1-0 Toronto. Stay tuned for a Sports Smash after this.
You're supposed to win, but you don't. You remember everything. Every round, every punch. You don't know why you didn't win. All you know is, next time you will. Revenge. 4 championship rematches. May 7th. Live on pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Las Vegas.
Polish a whole car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine, the first foaming car polish. It's so much easier. With ordinary polish, you have to wipe, wait, and rub. With new Instant Foam and Shine, you just foam and shine. A mirror-like shine with long-lasting Turtle Wax protection. It's never been easier or faster. So why wait? Polish your car in about half the time with new Turtle Wax Instant Foam and Shine.
Doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better. Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Any car with airbags will help protect you in a head-on collision. The new Volkswagen Golf has airbags, crumple zones, and side impact beams, so it can help protect you from any angle, including this one.
Hi there. After one period, Toronto leads San Jose 1-0. I'm Bill Pito with the smash. The other hockey game tonight, Vancouver and Dallas in Game 2. The Cardiac Canucks with 3 straight wins over Calgary in overtime to get to the second round and leading the Stars 1-0. Dallas changing things up in the nets. Andy Moog, who did not start Game 1, will start tonight. Darcy Wakaluk is not starting. Let's move on now. U.S., Russia. This is the World Hockey Championships. 53 saves for United States goalie Guy Hebert. Russia couldn't solve them. U.S., though, was able to score. Craig Janney, right place, right time. 1-0 United States. Second period, it's Scott Young. He shoots and scores. And the United States goes on to win 3-1 to advance to the semifinals. First win over the Soviet Union for the U.S. since the Do You Believe in Miracles effort 14 years ago at Lake Placid in the Olympics. NBA playoffs underway at the Meadowlands. The Knicks lead New Jersey 15-13. It's win or else for the Nets. New Jersey has not made it out of the first round of the playoffs since 1984. That's your smash fact of the night. Phoenix and Golden State, 10:30 Eastern tonight. Suns up 2 games to 9. The recycle bin for NBA coaches is dipped into again. Jim Lynam is the new coach of Washington, replacing Wes Unseld, who resigned. Lynam was a GM in Philadelphia. He coached the Sixers from 1988 to 1992 before moving upstairs, led the Sixers to the playoffs 3 times. Jim Lynam, the new coach of the Washington Bullets, and here's what he had to say.
I'm extremely happy to be here. Probably the second happiest person is my mom, who called me late last night and asked me, what's the deal? She's been getting deluged by calls from the Washington media about the coaching candidate, Jim Lynam. Now, my dad, he now thinks he was a candidate for this job. He's 77 years old, and he probably wouldn't have survived the month of November. So all you astute guys that have been calling my dad's house instead of mine, I apologize on behalf of the Lynam family.
Hockey game. It is Toronto 1 and San Jose nothing. Stay here with us, everybody.
What's it like to face Curtis Joseph when he's wearing Louisville hockey gear? Louisville hockey. Hockey the way you want to play it. Some poor goalie is going to be taught a lesson about Louisville hockey sticks from Steve Yzerman. Louisville hockey. Hockey the way you want to play it.
Most things in this world aren't big enough to handle 7 feet 2 inches, 310 pounds.
And I ordered the big breakfast.
How does that feel?
Oh, watch your head, Mr. O'Neill.
There is one notable exception. The Big Slam from Pepsi. One ice-cold liter of Pepsi big enough to handle the biggest thirst.
Ain't life grand?
You hit the ramp at 52 miles an hour and fly 100 feet. Your mind says fear. Your mind says pain. Your mind says death. I don't mind.
Welcome back, everybody. Baseball now. The Chicago Cubs haven't dropped 12 straight home games in 92 years. The National League record is 14 straight losses at home, set by the Atlanta Braves in 1911. Chicago at home against Cincinnati. Bring out the GOAT. The GOAT didn't get into the 45 World Series, and a lot of people think the Cubs have been hexed ever since. Sammy Sosa way back in left. That one is gone, no question about it, on the Waveland Avenue in a fight for the souvenir. The sign says it all. Today was the day. Chicago finally wins at home. The final over Cincinnati 5-2. Montreal beats the Dodgers 5-4. Montreal now has won 12 of its last 14. Giants and the Mets. Businessman special at Shea. Nothing special about that guy's seats, though. Not even close to the front row. 7th inning, Mets down 1-0. Bobby Bonilla up there, out there. Where is it? Can you find it? We lost it, but it's a home run. And he said, you know, even with these great glasses, I couldn't see that homer either. New York wins 7-4. Bonilla homered as a righty and a lefty. 5th time in his career that he's done that in one game. Colorado leads St. Louis 2-1. That game is in the 3rd inning for the Cards. Greg Jeffries extending the hitting streak to 17 games. Pittsburgh leads Houston 2-1. Jay Bell, Jeff King have RBIs for Pittsburgh. San Diego and Philadelphia rained out. Florida and Atlanta scoreless. That game's in the 4th inning. Rangers and the Tigers. Lou Whitaker, sweet Lou, yes please. 3-run home run. That's a bomb off the facade and right. 2 batters later, Cecil Fielder will get out the smash measuring stick. Hanging curveball from Reed. Oh my goodness, up on the roof, 475 feet. Career homer number 200 for Fielder. Detroit blows out Texas 14-7. Whitaker, in addition to that 3-run home run that you saw, hit a grand slam. Whitaker drove in 7 runs. Twins Brewers, Jesse Orozco, 6th inning. Brewers up 5-3, bases loaded. Matt Wall back to catcher. A little guy, but he swings a mean stick. Yes, please. Grand slam. Minnesota goes on to win 8-7. Shane Mack went 2 for 3. Elsewhere around the American League, Boston has home runs from Mike Greenwell and Mo Vaughn. Kansas City leads Toronto 3-0. Casey with 3 in the 1st. Cleveland at Chicago. It's the White Sox 1-0. New York at California, 10:30 Eastern tonight on ESPN. Baltimore at Oakland. The Athletics coming in, having lost 13 of 14. That's Smash. You're up to date. Sports Night, 5 nights a week, 3 times a day. After one period of the hockey game, Toronto 1, San Jose 0. Sean McDonough and Brian Engblom back at you after this.
I wasn't even looking when my old boss called. Said he had an opening, more responsibility, an office with a great view, even a piece of the business. I told him I'd think about it.
Oh, you got my message?
Yeah, all of them.
Here, but that might still fit.
Dad can be pretty convincing.
Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
Oh, by the way, I walked in my spot.
Proud to be your bud.
During my last physical, I happened to mention that the Tylenol I took for my tough headaches wasn't always getting rid of all the pain. My doctor recommended Advil instead. He told me that for tough headaches, 2 Advil work better than 2 extra-strength Tylenol tablets. Better than extra-strength Tylenol caplets. Better than Tylenol gel caps. Now for my tough headaches, I take what my doctor recommends by name. Advil. It just works better. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
We have just one word for the new Whopper Jr. at Burger King.
Bigger. You already know it's flame broiled and fixed your way. But the one thing you didn't know is that the Whopper Jr. now has 50% more beef. And cause we figured one great improvement deserved another, the new Whopper Jr. is just 99 cents every day. The new 99-cent Whopper Jr. at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place.
Welcome to Burger King.
It just tastes that way.
What do you need to be the best?
Starter.
Every time I go out there, the adrenaline starts pumping.
Chills running down my spine.
I'm scared.
Whoa.
Talent can only take you so far. You always have to be motivated yourself.
You gotta have something inside.
A burning desire to go out there and compete every night.
You need to do everything it takes.
No matter what.
Stopping at nothing.
I'm not gonna stop.
That's the nature of the beast.
Score that touchdown just to hit him go crazy.
You have to love it.
Starter.
What do you need to be the best?
Everything you got. It's up to you.
Welcome back to Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. Sean McDonough with Brian Engblom after one period. Toronto has a 1-0 lead, and Brian, the Maple Leafs played excellent defense in the first period. They held the Sharks to just 3 shots on goal.
Well, there are a couple of reasons why Toronto was in the lead, 1-0, and we're going to take a look at the first one. Toronto, excellent defensive play. Look at the Sharks trying to find a way to make an offensive play. There is no play to be had. Look at that right here. Defenseman right here, and then a whole line of white jerseys, all 5 guys inside the zone. Everybody is taken care of. They turn the puck over and out of harm's way very easily. That's very effective work by the Toronto Maple Leafs inside their zone. At the other end of the ice, look what they're doing. Laying on the body. Here comes Pearson the first time. Boom. Big hit on Norton. Nice hit. Then the second man will come in. I believe it's going to be Bird. He'll come in and lay the body on as well. This is what Toronto wants in the offensive zone. They want it all over the ice, but double amounts of it in San Jose zone, and they got it in that first period. Now here's the goal, the only goal in the game so far, a 4-on-3 situation for Toronto. The defenseman becomes most effective in a 4-on-3. If we can, as soon as Ellett gets up here, we'll stop it. You'll take a look. There's Ellett right here in the middle. Mironov is slid off to the side over here. Ellett will play catch back and forth here with Gilmore. Then he'll give it back to Mironov, and Mironov will just go for the big one-timer, and you'll see what happens. There's the Gilmore, back to Ellett. See where Mironov is. Here we go. He'll hammer it right up under the crossbar. What can you do about that if you're Arthur Zerbe? Not a heck of a lot. That's why Toronto's up 1-0 in this game.
We'll have second period action from Toronto on the Deuce right after this.
He supports leading-edge computer systems for some of IBM's largest customers. Sam Parker is customer engineer for IBM and a DeVry graduate.
When I came out of the military, I wanted a challenging career and a quality education. DeVry helped me get both.
At DeVry, you can get a 4-year bachelor's degree in just 3 years. You learn the technology that puts you ahead in today's business.
DeVry helped me advance to a great career.
Call anytime, 1-800-247-7800. DeVry, we're serious about success.
With Bowflex, you can outperform Solaflex and Nordic Flex, and we can show you how. Call this toll-free number now, and we'll send you our head-to-head comparison video absolutely free. Sound interesting? If you call now, you'll also receive this free fact-filled brochure that details the quality, convenience, and performance that only Bowflex can deliver. Call right now and make your own comparison. The time and money you save will be worth it.
Basketball is a game of style. It's a game of form and finesse. But believe me, when I'm in your face, it's not pretty.